So guys, Sociedad tomorrow, Europa League. I'm hearing that we've got some injuries now, so to quite a few players, so I'm feeling very unconfident now about the game. I wasn't feeling great about it anyway because I think Sociedad are underrated and I think they're going to cause us a lot of problems like Spanish teams do, like Sevilla last year. And obviously got David Silva, who may not start, but do you know what I mean? He's an option for them. And just the technicality of the Spanish league, and I'm nervous about tomorrow, I'm not going to lie. The injuries and the knocks I'm hearing, let's talk about it. So, Donny and Cavani are not travelling at all, apparently due to muscle injuries. Donny, we haven't utilised enough since he's come to the club. Should have been playing more, and now he's injured. So we've wasted him. We knew we wasted him anyway, but this just confirms it even more. He's now out. Cavani's going to be a huge miss. I don't think people understand, even if he's not banging the goals in, how much of a miss he is when he doesn't play. So I think he's going to be the biggest miss. And I'm also hearing that McTominay and Martial have both got knocks. Now, they've travelled, but I think they've got to have a fitness test, so they probably will be involved. But whether or not they start now is another issue, because if they got knocks, you got to see, you got to weigh up, is it worth risking starting them with knocks already? Because obviously we've got to play in the league as well. It's a tough one, and as I said, I wasn't feeling super confident about this game even before I heard about these injuries. So I don't know if Diallo is going to be involved either. I'm not sure if he's travelled or not. I personally don't think that we will see him, even if he has travelled. Even if he's on the bench, I don't think we'll get to see him. Hopefully I'm wrong and we get to see him. Maybe he's even going to start, but I don't think that will happen. But McTominay is going to be a big miss, and I didn't think I would ever say that, but he's growing on me, and he's in form right now, so that's another hit for us that, I mean, he may start. He's not travelled, but obviously if he's got a knock, like I said, you've got to weigh up, do you risk it or not playing them? Because you're obviously going to want them for the league games as well. We've got Newcastle coming up, so yeah, and they're in a short space of time, the games, so that you got to play that into it as well. Like, if you play certain players with knocks, how long do you play them for? And like the depth on the bench as well. So my lineup, I'm with David De Gea in goal. The keeper situation's an interesting one because I do like Dean Henderson, and I think he's done all right for the most part when he has played. But, and listen, I don't think David De Gea is at anywhere near the level that he was, and I do think that he needs to be more commanding. But I do think he's better overall than Henderson is. So I would personally go with David De Gea, but I feel that Ollie might give Henderson a chance and leave David for the league game. But I would go with De Gea. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back, Eric Bailly and Maguire at centre back. It's going to be interesting because if Eric Bailly plays and Lindelof doesn't, Lindelof will obviously play in a Newcastle game with Maguire. But if Bailly plays and has a shocker, it's going to be a long time before we see him again, I think, which then is going to put more strain on Lindelof to play more games when he could be rested at times like this situation. So if Eric Bailly starts, depending on his performance, we may not see him for a long time again, which I don't want to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, Lindelof has a bad game, Maguire has a bad game, and they're picked all the time. So, and also we're forgetting about Twanzebe. Like, where's his opportunity as well? So I would go with Bailly and Maguire, and I'd have Luke Shaw at left back, but they might go with Telles just to give Luke Shaw a bit of a rest. But the form he's in, I would just play Shaw. Like, even if you bring him off in the second half, I would start with Shaw because I can't, even though we've got injuries and we're forced to make certain changes, I wouldn't go switching the whole team up because Sociedad are going to, I'm seriously concerned about this game. Like, defensively, we're an issue anyway. You could argue Bailly gives us more pace at the back so we could play a higher line, but I wouldn't play a higher line against this team anyway because they're going to be technically better than us and more intricate and clever with the ball. So I think we're going to have to play deep anyway, which then adds on pressure to yourself anyway. But I would rather do that than play a high line because I think we're going to get caught out because of the accuracy of their passing on the counter if they're countering. But I think we'll be the counter-attacking team anyway, because technically they're going to have more of the ball, so they're going to have more possession. They've got technically better players, I feel. So I'm not feeling good about this game. Fred and Matic in the two defensive midfield roles. I would go McTominay and Matic, but if McTominay's got too much of a knock, I'd just have him on the bench. I'm not a big fan of Fred, but because of injury issues, I would play him Fred with Matic. Mata on the right. I just want to mention Mata. I recently read that he was sent home recently because, or he went home because they're negotiating a contract or whatever, and he's not been offered one yet, and so I'm a bit concerned about that. Yes, he's coming to near the end of his career, but I still think he can offer us a lot on the ball. You just got to be careful about when you pick him for what games and how long you play him. I would go with him in this match because of the injuries, but also because it's like having a Sociedad player in our team. Do you know what I mean? He's been there, he's won it all, and technically and experience-wise, he's got a lot to add still, so I feel that he should be playing. Bruno, I'd go with in the number 10. Obviously, if Donny was fit, I would go with Donny just to rest Bruno up, but Donny's not travelled, so we're left for not really a lot of options, so Bruno would have to start for me. Rashford on the left. Look, you should probably rest Rashford and play Dan James there, or who else could you play? You could even maybe play Tellez as a left forward and potentially Martial, but I would go with Rashford just because, like I said, I don't want to completely change the team up. And he's done it on the big stages, so he's definitely capable of getting like a match winner for us. It's just he has played a lot of minutes, so it's like, what do you do? But I would go with him on the left, and then I'd go with Greenwood up top. Just signed a new contract, obviously. He was in the press with Ollie shortly. He said that he's happy to play in any of the forward three positions. Personally, he needs to be playing up front for me, but it's competition for places right now. Obviously, when Cavani goes and Martial probably moves on, I think Greenwood will have that place. He's done a fantastic job on the right recently, I feel. He's really grown into that position. But I would go with him up top for this game. And then on the bench, I would go with Henderson, Tuanzebe, McTominay, Tellez, Dan James, Lindelof and Martial. You could argue that Martial should be playing because he's got the experience and that bit of quality when you need it, but I don't think he's performing right now, and I think his confidence is very low. So I would put him on the bench and have him come off the bench and impact the game that way. I feel like if he's on the bench as well, he's going to be like, I should be playing, why am I not starting? So he's going to have more hunger coming off the bench, and I feel that he's more likely to get a goal that way. But obviously with Cavani out, you could probably see Greenwood on the right, Rashford or Dan James on the left, and then it'll go with Martial up top. So it's going to be interesting to see the lineup he goes with. I feel it's dangerous, but I really do feel that we have to play or go more for tactically a low block and be the counter-attacking team to have more of a chance of winning this game. Yes, it invites more pressure, but I feel like if we play a high line, even with Eric Bailly, we're going to get caught out too much, even with Bailly, because of the accuracy of their players and the technical ability of their players. So I just think it's a lose-lose for us, and it's very negative to say, but I think it's the reality of the situation. And these injuries at this point in time couldn't come at a worse time for us. So, and to be honest, a lot of people were saying that it wouldn't be the end of the world if we go out of Europa and that, and it's like the Emmerdale Cup and it's like the little brother to the Champions League, which it is. But I don't think it's realistic that we can win the league now. Everyone's saying, yeah, we've got to fight for top four. I think we'll get top four anyway. Now, it might seem a little bit arrogant, but I'm confident that we will get top four regardless. So I feel we need to do what we can, even with these injuries, to go as far as we can in this competition. Because as I said, I think this and the FA Cup are the closest we're going to get to a cup. I personally think the FA Cup's going to be easier to win than the Europa League. But I really don't see that we're going to win. We're not going to win the league, that's for sure. And so it's going to be interesting to see tomorrow. I'm very nervous about the game now because of these injuries. And Cavani and Donny are going to be a huge miss, but especially Cavani for me. So I'll be back tomorrow, guys, with a confirmed lineup. It's an earlier kickoff tomorrow as well. I'm looking forward to the game still. I'm just very nervous about it now because I wasn't super confident before these injuries. So prediction, I'm going to go... I'm going to go 2-1 Sociedad, and hopefully we can get a draw. I don't see us winning the game at all. So that's just how it is, guys. I'm being honest. So if we get a win, I'm going to be over the moon because I really can't see it right now. And I think a draw will be a good result with these injuries. So I'll be back tomorrow with the confirmed lineups, and then after the game with a post-match recap and the player ratings. I'll catch you guys then.